Okay, so this is what you've been waiting for. So I'm a little limited on space here, so I'm just kind of going to jump back and forth. What we're looking at here is I have all my cost codes. I have about 118 of them that are my default cost codes I use for when I do an estimate. So this that you're looking at is not an estimate. It is just my estimate template. So I pull from these cost codes, and it's kind of a company rate sheet. So if I have again, starting with general conditions, which is the first division, 01, I've got job truck and $900 a month. I've got cell phone, $110 a month. Software, $199 a month. So when I get ready to create a new estimate, I will pull all these cost codes in, and these rates change. As they change, then the next job that I estimate has the updated cost in it. So this is kind of this is my global cost sheet. And again, if I scroll down, you'll see Division 2. I've got septic tank, stone for the drive, stone backfill, excavation. O3 is concrete, so I got concrete footings, concrete walls, concrete pumps. O4 is masonry, etc. So this goes all the way down to get down to electrical warranty and all that kind of stuff. So what we're doing though is instead of creating an all-encompassing complex software, we are hooking this up to AI. So Claude is what I'm using, and so I can sit here and I can type in. I can say, Claude, how much do I have in my cost template for cell phone? And it's going to sit there and think for a second. And now this, as you're working with the AI, some things do take longer than other things, but it's going to be worth it in the end. Because I could log into my system and I could see here and I could scroll through all these things real quickly, and that's probably the best way. I would want to do that if I was trying to look something up. But you'll see, just as we get to the end, we start doing historical cost databases and comparing different estimates from previous estimates versus the current estimate I'm working on. All of this starts to make a lot of sense. And Claude on the fly will create reports for me, so I can sort them by however I want, and I don't have to make it up in my database here. I can just ask Claude to do it. So I'll show you a bunch of those things as we go. But right now it says, okay, your cell phone item is $110 a month, and your cost type is O for, it's actually other, not overhead. But so I look here and I say, yeah, okay, 110. That's exactly right. But if I come in here and I say, okay, can you update my cost? I'll move myself out of the way. So cell phones are $120 per month. And it's going to go through here. We'll see what it does. Let me put myself right there. Done. Okay, so now I'm going to go back here and you'll see it's cell phone still 110. But I hit refresh. And I have this hooked up to a kind of a fairly slow server. So there, 120. So through my AI, I can have it talking back and forth to my database. And so when I do that, I'm no longer using AI's fictional numbers. Like when I say that a house is 3,200 square feet, how much is painting cost? Let's do that. So how much is painting per square foot? Now you heard me on some previous videos talking about don't estimate by the square foot, but that's how this prices things. So that's when it is okay to do by the square foot. So when you're doing estimating, let's go back to this. When you're doing estimating and we go down, we get into concrete pump, concrete walls, concrete footings, and you want to estimate your job, you need to know how that sub that you're getting pricing from estimates. And that's how you estimate. That's how you come up with the cost. So whatever it is they use, that's how you do it as well. So, okay, so here's a good example. Let's see, how much is painting per square foot? From the cost data already pulled, you have two painting line items, $3.25, that's right, and a dollar square foot for exterior painting per contact area. So what is the interior price I should put in my estimate if I have a 3,000 square foot house for interior paint only? All right. And so I'll go in here and it tells me, and it does a calculation. That's pretty easy, $9,700. But then what I can do is I can go in here and I can tell Claude when I get ready to. I'm not ready to just yet. But I can create a new job, and I can say, okay, put this cost into job number 1, 2, 3, 4's estimates, and then it will begin creating estimates for me. So I don't have to be into my software. By the way, this is kind of where things are going. So people right now, you've got a piece of software that you use. I've got a software that I sell. It's this Octane OS, which is, we'll get into that. It's perfect for residential, for uploading photos and viewing your drawings and doing estimates and all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to be adding this estimate template there as well. It's not in it yet. But this is kind of where things are going to into the future, to where you may still use Google for doing things, but eventually you'll start using ChatGPT or Claude instead of Google. And then instead of using this, you will begin to use Claude to get in and find all your information that you want. And because here's an example, let me just give you a little tidbit real quick. I got a couple estimates in here. And if I'm doing a current estimate and I want to say how much did I spend per square foot on, we'll say total, how much I spend total and per square foot on the past 3 projects I estimated. This is where it becomes powerful. All right, so I'm gonna go in, it's gonna go in there and it's gonna take a look real quick and it's gonna pull on the estimate screens. Move myself out of the way. I'm still here. So while it's doing that, let me talk about, this is how, when I get ready, I'm getting ready to price up a new house for myself, and I want to price up 3 or 4 different house plans. Usually it takes me about 6 hours per house plan, so 2 days approximately, where I can use this, and we're going to do it pretty fast. We're probably going to try to do it all 3 house plans in one day. All right, so here we go. It's just telling me total square foot. I just want painting. I just want the painting prices, interior. All right, and one of the things, if you haven't used a lot of AI, it does sometimes act like a 5-year-old. I mean, you got to babysit it. It doesn't always do exactly what you want it to do, but okay, so this is right. So I used $3.25 for each one of them, but it tells me this job, it was 10,000, this job it was 12,000, this job it was 10, this job it was 10.5. So maybe not the best example since everything was $3.25 a square foot, but you kind of get what's happening there. I get ready to estimate a new job, and I can say, well, how much did I spend on that last project? And then it's a perfect historical cost database. So this is going to become very powerful, and I'm going to show you in some other videos. I'm going to show you some other things I can do with this.